Well, I've already laid bare some of John's past. Now it's your turn, I'm afraid. Now, Richie, let's start with you. Is Bon Jovi your first recording band, or are there any albums out there with your playing on them?
No, actually, I've been a session musician for a while, and I've played on, a few different records, some independent releases and stuff like that. I had my own band called Message that I couldn't believe it. That last year we did an in-store at a store in London. I forgot the name of the store, actually, but I walked in there and the Message Records was there. I had my own independent release on my own independent label back in Jersey before Bon Jovi. Yeah. And also I was in a band called Duke Williams and the Extremes on Capricorn. And I was an extreme, of course.
Catchy little name.
Yeah, it was on Capricorn Records, the Allman Brothers' old label, which is now defunct. But back then it was a sort of a jazz funk fusion type of band with a lot of black influence in it. So I took my musical influences to the left a bit, and I left for about a year, and I toured with them, and I made a record with them also. So.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Now, what about you then, David?
No, this is the first recording stuff I've done.
I must say that I think you've really blossomed of late, not only on the new Slippery When Wet album, but also in terms of the stage show.
Well, thank you. Yes, this year keyboards came up in the mix.
That's right.
And well, Richie and I just worked consciously about getting the guitar and the piano and the keyboards to happen.
Yeah.
You know, never stepping on each other and just leaving space and making it just sound good.
Yeah, it's often the case, though, with heavy rock bands that the keyboard player is either stuck away on the side of the stage or even stuck behind the amps at the back. But you're pretty much centre stage, aren't you?
Yeah, that's cool. My mom likes it.
Now, Richie, you've actually established a very good songwriting relationship with John, but do you write songs outside of Bon Jovi, possibly stuff that isn't suitable for this particular band?
Yeah, well, John and I have been writing a lot lately. Actually, for this record, we wrote 35 tunes, which was a wealth of material, and then we picked from that to demo 20-somethings, 22 songs, and then we narrowed the album down from there. But we've also been writing for other artists now. That's when we originally got together with Desmond.
Desmond Child.
Desmond Child, who we wrote, You Give Love a Bad Name with and Living on a Prayer. We got together with him because John and I wanted to establish ourselves as writers. So he was the way that we were going to get to other people, because he would be in New York walking the streets with the material while John and I were out on the road, and we couldn't, get out there and panhandle our own stuff. Yeah. So we were going to go through his medium to do that, and then we ended up writing a couple songs that we just couldn't throw away.
Right.
So, but we wrote a couple songs for Loverboy and stuff on their new record, and might show up, and Pat Benatar might do a few. So
that's interesting.
You might see some Bon Jovi songs on some other records.
Yeah, David, it's obvious that Bon Jovi is now crossed over to a larger audience, but are you frightened of crossing over too much and being thought of as pop stars rather than rock and rollers?
No, I don't think we'll have that problem just for the fact of our live performance. And we always have that heavy edge. I don't think we'll ever give that up.
Yeah. But you're actually I think you're something of a Beatles fan, aren't you, Richie?
Oh, big time, yeah.
An expert. I'm not going to ask you any questions on that, but has that influenced the way you write songs?
Absolutely, because I remember when I was a child, I guess I was about 7 years old, and my mom and dad bought me my first Beatle records. It was on VJ Records. It was called Please Please Me. I think it was their first single, right? And from then on, every day, I remember I would put that single on, and then they bought me a couple other singles that were on Capitol, and then I got my first Beatle album, and I grew up with them. And I listen to their records today. Those old records, those songs still stand up because the melodies are so great, and the songs are just great songs. And that's what we try to do on Bon Jovi. We were just trying to write really good songs, and then color them later with whatever textures need to be colored.
Great. Well, thanks for stopping by the studio today.
Anytime.
There's 3 members of the band done and 2 more to go. In the meantime, we'll take a look at another Bon Jovi video, and this is In and Out.